In this episode, I want to encourage you to be bold in the promises you make to your customers. Far too often we hear that nothing is guaranteed or results may vary, but I want to challenge you to buck the trend and make some bold promises to those who use your products or services. Not sure how? Well, let's talk about it. Are you ready to nail down a win on stage 16 of this year's Tour to Profit? Let's get into it.
Welcome to Why Business Teams Fail and How to Avoid It, a show helping small business owners build a radically engaged team that can run the business without you so you can remove the stress from owning a business and enjoy the freedom you deserve. Now, here's your host, Rich Allen.
Today you'll learn that many customers are skeptical about doing business with someone they don't know because they're not sure of who you are and what you stand for. That if you want to give your customers peace of mind and confidence, you need to give them some assurance of how they'll be treated as your customer. And if you can be confident and bold enough to make your customers a promise, you'll gain a customer for life. Here's my question for you this week. What promises do you make to each and every customer? Last week on stage 15, we discussed how to set your business apart from your toughest competition. We specifically talked about defining the feelings you wanted your customers to feel when they did business with you or anyone on your team. Feelings matter. Feelings are what make customers either love or hate who you are and what you do. I hope you took the time to nail down some specific feelings you want your customers to have when they engage with your business. In fact, it's a great setup for this week's topic, establishing your guarantee. We're on stage 16 of this year's Tour to Profit, and this week I want to challenge you about the promises you make or should be making to those who use your products or services. You see, I believe each of us as business owners owe it to our customers to make them a promise or even several promises of how we will conduct business with them each and every time they need our products or services. Let me set the stage with a specific situation that happened some time ago, but it makes my point very clearly. I had received a call from a person who was considering becoming a business owner. They had been presented with an opportunity to become a partner in a new venture and wanted some advice and counsel on the deal they had been presented. So I asked them to send me the proposed agreement so I could review it. They did, and I spent about an hour looking it over, trying to identify any gotchas in the details. When we got on a call to discuss my findings, I shared that I thought the agreement was pretty solid, but I did notice a clause that indicated the new partner must have the document reviewed by an independent attorney so that they could not come back later and suggest they were unaware of any particular provision in the agreement. Since this person didn't have a business attorney relationship, I recommended they find one in their local area and asked them to review the document for them. They took my advice, found a local attorney, and sent them the 20-plus page document. A few days later, they had a brief phone call with the attorney who pointed out a few items of interest or concerns but found nothing out of line. Then about 10 days later, this new, soon-to-be business owner got an email from the attorney with an invoice for $5,355. They were shocked. Over $5,000 for a quick review of a document. When they looked at the detail of the invoice, they found that they were charged $148 to send an email and $397 for a 30-minute phone call. They called me in tears. They wanted to know if I had expected the bill to be this high for the review. And I was beside myself, in disbelief at the cost and angry at the attorney for not giving this soon-to-be business owner some sense of what they should expect for their help. This is the moment I decided to share their experience through my podcast. You see, this future business owner will be skeptical of every business attorney from now on. They will assume that they're going to get an oversized invoice anytime they pick up the phone and have a conversation with one. And who could blame them? But sadly, many of your customers have many similar fears. In fact, I know it's true in some industries, which is why I'm a firm believer that as a business owner, we should take the time to make a few promises to each and every customer or prospective customer we deal with. These promises should address the biggest fears they have when they think about doing business with someone in our industry. Let me give you a real example to illustrate the point. One of my earliest clients was a husband and wife team who wanted to start their own residential plumbing business. As we started working together, one of the first exercises we spent time on was to make a list of the top fears, concerns, frustrations, or disappointments a typical residential homeowner would have with the idea of hiring a plumber. We brainstormed a long list of concerns, then we whittled them down to just a few, the big ones, the ones that really got under the skin of a typical homeowner. In the end, we landed on 3 big concerns. They were, number 1, when they called for an appointment, the plumber rarely showed up on time, and they wasted the entire day waiting for them. Number 2, when the plumber starts doing their repair, they open the project and it grows and grows and grows until it becomes so big and expensive that the homeowner wished they had found a different solution. And number 3, when the plumber leaves, the place where they were doing the repair is trashed, dirty, wet, and required some serious cleaning before being able to be used again. So we then asked, could we make a guarantee that these things would never happen when they called their plumbing company? It was a big ask, but after some discussion and thought, we agreed to make this a guarantee that they would make to each and every customer. Specifically, their promise was, when you do business with our company, we promise to, number 1, show up on time, no exceptions. Number 2, tell you the cost of the repair before any work is started. And number 3, leave the work area cleaner than we found it. This guarantee became part of their website, it was added to their marketing materials, and every person who answered the phone would tell each prospective customer of their promise or guarantee. As you can imagine, by simply identifying the biggest frustrations their prospective customers have when doing business with someone in their industry, and turning those frustrations into a promise or guarantee that they would never happen when using their company, their business grew faster than anyone could ever imagine. And their customers became their biggest fans and advocates. Fast forward 15 years, this husband and wife team had built a plumbing business from 2 team members and 1 truck to over 50 team members and 25 trucks. And a large corporation made an offer to acquire their plumbing business and asked the husband and wife to help them set up hundreds of franchise locations across the United States using the model they developed right here in Frisco, Texas. Now, I'm not saying that their success was based solely on their compelling guarantee, but I am absolutely certain it had a significant impact on their growth and success. Meanwhile, there's a business attorney out there who's going to struggle to keep and find great clients because they haven't taken the time to find out what their customers fear the most and promise them it'll never happen when making a call to their firm. So how about your business? Have you taken the time to figure out what your customers fear the most about your industry? Do your customers know exactly what you're going to do to help them avoid it? And are they confident that you will keep your promises no matter what? Perhaps it's time to give this some thought and make a commitment to your customers. No one wants to be surprised, in a bad way, when they first do business with you or when they become a repeat customer. If you're a business attorney, you might want to think about letting your first-time customers know what your fee schedule is, even if they don't ask. Never allow your customers to be taken advantage of, even if they should know better. Your job is to educate them and protect them from those in your industry who would take advantage of them. Do this, and you'll have customers for life, guaranteed. As we wrap up today's podcast, let me leave you with these simple thoughts. Number one, every new customer has worries and concerns that are based on their past experience, and you must address them. Number two, if you're as good and capable as you need to be, you should be able to make promises to your customers to remove their biggest fears. And number three, if you address your customers' biggest fears by making a guarantee that you will protect them from these fears, you'll gain customers for life. If you'd like some additional support as we ride this Tour de Profit race or want to tap into our free resources, simply go to my website, tourdeprofit.com. You'll find everything you need there. Thanks for joining me today. Be sure to tune in next week when we're going to discuss Stage 17, your marketing plan on a page. You won't want to miss it. Now, go make it a great week, and whatever you do, ride hard.
Thank you for listening to Why Business Teams Fail and How to Avoid It. Make sure to like, subscribe, and tell your friends so you don't ever miss an episode. Now go make it a great week, and whatever you do, ride hard.